Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a quick roundup of my favorites for the month of January. It does include some makeup products, both old and new to my collection, as well as some non-makeup favorites. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So my first product for January is the Fenty Glosses. The formula itself is not something new, but I did pick up some of their holiday kits, which included new shades, and I've been really enjoying them. I love the Fenty Gloss formula. It's so smooth and it makes your lips look really plush. I'm actually wearing the shade Hot Chocolate, which is this kind of brownie one right here. And I know this is actually coming out as a full size part of their permanent range. So if you're interested in that shade, I really recommend it. I'm wearing it right now on top of a lip liner, but you can't go wrong with any of the shades. The formula is so gorgeous, so long wearing, and it smells really good. So if you've been curious about the Fenty Glosses, I would highly recommend any of the colors that they have available. My next product is these liners from LA Girl. These are the Neon Shockwave liners, and they come in, as you can see, many different colors. I was looking for some bright, fun liners for a really long time. I know NYX came out with some, they're like off-tropic ones, but I wasn't hearing such great things about them. And then I know ColourPop liners, they're like cream gel liners, are really popular, but I've also heard pretty mixed reviews about them. But when I started seeing people use these on YouTube and Instagram, I was instantly curious because I know LA Girl has a reputation for being really high quality as well as really affordable. So I did pick up a couple. I started out with like some of their like pinky and red ones. These ones are actually lip liners, but I use them on the eyes because I'm not really like a bright neon lipstick kind of person. So these go on my eyes. These are the ones I started out with, and I was so impressed with them that I wanted to go ahead and pick up some of the other colors. So I have all of the ones that they have right now. If you're interested and like you don't really wear neon liners but you are curious about the formula, they do have, I know, other like neutral ranges of eyeliners and like shimmery eyeliners and things like that, and I've heard really good things about those as well. So if you are curious about really colorful eyeliners, you do a lot of bright, fun, punchy looks, I would highly recommend these. They're so soft, they glide on the waterline, and they're like $3 to $5 a pop depending on where you get them. My next product is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush in the shade Always Spicy. This is one of my everyday blushes. I just think the formula is great. It's one of my favorite blush formulas. It's really pigmented, which I know not everybody likes. Some people like more of a buildable blush, but I like something that's gonna show up instantly. I don't want to sit around and like build up my blush for 10 minutes. So I would rather just go in with a light hand with a very pigmented blush and just kind of build up from there for the intensity that I want. So that is this kind of formula. It's gonna give you full impact on like your first kind of swipe. So do be careful about that if you want something a little bit more natural. But I really love this shade specifically. I do love all the other ones, but this one, I wear it the most often because it goes with everything. It's kind of this like warm brown shade, but it kind of transforms on the cheek. It becomes a little warmer, kind of orangey, kind of purpley. I don't know. It's just so gorgeous. It's really unique. Like, I don't think I've ever found a shade quite like this, and I wear it with every look, any look under the sun, and it seems to transform everything. It's really gorgeous, and it's only $6. So if you have a skin tone similar to mine or deeper, I think this is going to be beautiful. I have heard of people with lighter skin tones not liking this as much because it is kind of so full impact. So if that is you, make sure to kind of swatch it, see if it's something you would like. But honestly, I cannot recommend this one enough. Okay, moving into a couple of palettes. First off, I'm going to start with my Urban Decay Born to Run. If you watch my project pan, you know this is in my project pan for 2020, and I've been getting a lot of use out of this, not only for eyeshadow, but I find that it's really good kind of for your whole face, at least my whole face. So it's really good to go to for kind of weekdays when I'm going to work. I'll take one of these shimmery shadows, I'll put it all over the lid, and then I'll actually take this kind of quadrant right here, not so much Punk, which is like a deep browny purpley color, but more so Baja, this orange, Hellride, this kind of soft plummy purple, and then Wild Heart, which is this pinky shimmer. It's not super shimmery, it's got more of a sheen to it, but I'll take those three, swirl them together on a little brush and use them as a blush, and it's so pretty. I've also been using the color Jet, which is just like a soft black to fill in my eyebrows, and then I even take the colors Riff and Good as Gone and mix those together because they're a light brown and a deeper brown, and I want something kind of in the middle of those, and I'll take that on like a pointed eyeliner brush and use that to do my fake freckles. You can additionally also use these 4 shades at the top, kind of mix them together, and you can use that as a highlight. So I really like this. I think this would be really great as like a travel palette because you could essentially do a full face of things from here. You could probably use Riff as like a bronzer if you're the right skin tone. I just think it's really handy because in the mornings when I'm going to work, I'm super lazy, so I don't like to pull out a bunch of products, so I've been using this just as kind of like an all-in-one palette. Next up is the Lunar Beauty Strawberry Dream Palette. I picked this up during Black Friday. It was half off, and I had heard really good things about Lunar Beauty. Especially with this packaging, this moon is like holographic. This packaging is so beautiful, and I was really interested about the color scheme. I'd never used Lunar Beauty before, so I wasn't sure what to kind of expect from their formula, but it blew me away, truly. It's really impactful. These 2 really light pastel shades, I was like, oh, they're really pretty, but are they gonna show up on me? And so those are the first 2 that I used when I used this palette for the first time. And yeah, they work for me. They're really pigmented, they're really blendable and buildable, and I've just been having a lot of fun with this palette. I really like the warm kind of color scheme with these pops of blue, this kind of yellowy gold. I think it's really interesting. Obviously, there's a lot of warm tone palettes on the market, so this might not be something you necessarily need to add to your collection, but I am really happy that I have it. Also, it smells like strawberry, and it smells like strawberry candy. Specifically, when I smell it, I think of like going into Sanrio stores and buying the like Hello Kitty and like Keroppi and like Pachaco gum that they had at the Sanrio stores, which were so good. It smells exactly like those gums. Anyway, it smells super good and it works really well. Okay, lastly for my beauty faves, I have my palettes of single eyeshadows. I was never really a single eyeshadow person until last year. I started watching more creators on YouTube that looked into like indie brands, so like Amy Hart's Makeup and Angelica Nikis and stuff like that. They take a look at like indie brands that no one really talks about, and a lot of these indie brands, instead of doing like full palettes, they'll come out with a lot of single eyeshadows, which I think is a really great concept because I personally like the kind of freedom you get to put together your own color stories. So I actually went pretty ham, bought a lot of single shadows, and a couple weeks ago, I was like sitting around, I wasn't really inspired by looking at them, so I just kind of took them all out of the palettes and then reorganized them in like color stories that I liked better. So I've just been getting a lot more use out of these now that they're rearranged and they look nicer. So I just wanted to show you my single eyeshadow palette. So this one has like greens, golds, oranges, reds, and some like champagne-y pinks on that side. This one also kind of like greens and warm tones, so greens, golds, yellows, oranges, and then pinks, and then this row of like kind of weird neutrals that I didn't really know where to kind of categorize them as because a lot of these are like duochromes. This one is kind of like pastel cool tones. There's like 2 rows of like inner corner colors, kind of like whites with duochrome shifts. Then there's some purples, a lot of blues. I did not realize how many blues I had. And then this little row of like kind of pastel greens. And then this one I think is my favorite. This is also like duochrome inner corner colors and then cool tones, but these have like some really nice like depth to them, really rich and vibrant, and some of these have like incredibly like unique duochromes. So this one is my favorite by far. And then this one is not filled up all the way, but this one has some really cool, like, these are the Divina, I think they're called sugar bombs or something like that. They're like really fun. They all look white essentially, but they're more of those like inner corner duochrome kind of shades, and then some like really rich jewel tones on this side. So if you're at all interested in my like single shadow collection, let me know and I can go through and maybe do some swatches and talk about the brands that I've purchased from. But I've really been enjoying my single shadows. I'm trying not to buy any more single shadows in 2020 just because I don't need them. I have plenty, and like I love the ones that I have, so I'm going to really focus on getting use out of those. Okay, quickly, for my non-makeup favorites, I wanted to start with my purse. So this, I got this from Hot Topic. I know, I'm a 25-year-old person shopping at Hot Topic. Brainworms. Anyway, so this is, it's so cute. It's the Sanrio and My Hero Academia collaboration, and they have this print on like other things. They have it on like shirts and stuff, but I really liked this bag, and I was looking for a new mini backpack because I love mini backpacks. I'm not like a purse person. I don't like to have to like constantly think about where my purse is. I can just always have it on my back. So I actually had a Loungefly one before this. It was like Pikachu print. It was really cute, but it was starting to show some like wear and tear because I'd been using it for like over 3 years. So I wanted to get something new, and they came out with this print and I thought it was so cute. So each like hero's paired up with a Sanrio character. It's really nice. It's really well made. It's got these like nice long adjustable straps, and it's pretty big. Like it's definitely a little bigger than my Loungefly one, but it's not too big where it's like a full backpack. It's just the right size to carry like anything I really need. Then my book for this month, so in 2019 I read 41 books because it was one of my New Year's resolutions to read more, and I just love going to the library. It's a lot of fun, so I'll just go in, pick up something that looks interesting, give it a nice read on the back, and usually I just pick up and take home whatever I see, whatever catches my interest. So I picked up this probably at the beginning of the month. It's called The Right Swipe by Alicia Rai. It's really good. It's just one of those like fun, like funky books about like people that have a meet cute or whatever. It's really interesting. It's about a girl boss, so that's always fun. I really liked this, and apparently this author has like a shit ton more books, so I'm definitely interested to go and look at what else they have by her. So I really enjoy this. If you're looking to get into reading, I kind of want to do a video on like all the books that I read in 2019, which ones I recommend, which ones I don't, what I thought about them, blah blah blah, without giving, you know, too much away about the book. Want some book recommendations, definitely let me know. Okay, and then my last three favorites for January are all video game related. So I guess we'll start with the one that kicked it all off. This isn't new to me in January necessarily, but it's been my favorite. It's been a staple in my life since I picked it up, probably around October, I'd say. This is Fire Emblem Three Houses. I got it for the Switch. It's the first Fire Emblem game that I've played, and I fell in love instantly. It's so good. There's a lot of game to it. There's 4 different like story routes you can take, and going through just the first one took me 60 hours. So each route you take has different like stories behind it, different characters you interact with, things like that. It's so good. You can't see it, but I actually have a giant Fire Emblem Three Houses poster right above me because I'm so in love with it. I love all the characters. I love the gameplay. I love the battling. It's so good. It's kind of a sad story. I'm not going to give anything away if you're interested in like learning about it by yourself. But I really love it. I highly recommend it. And honestly, I think it's one of my favorite games ever. So there's that. And then because I was so interested in it, and because I just love that game so much, I wanted to like kind of dive headfirst into like the Fire Emblem sphere, because I had just never played a Fire Emblem game before that. I knew about Fire Emblem, but I didn't know it would be something that I would like so much. So after that, I wanted to just play all the Fire Emblem I could get my hands on. So this is Fire Emblem Warriors. This one and Fire Emblem Three Houses are essentially opposites. Fire Emblem Three Houses is mostly story with like battle throughout. This one is mostly battle, and then they'll sprinkle a little bit of like plot line throughout it. But it's really good. It's still really fun. So far, I'm really liking it. And then if that wasn't enough to convince you that as soon as I start to like something, I'm in it forever, I actually bought myself a 3DS because there's 4 different Fire Emblem games for 3DS. So this is the 3DS I got. It's an XL, looks like this, and it's got like this cute galaxy print on it. I think it's really cool. I'm actually playing Fire Emblem Birthright on this right now, but I do have a couple other games. I've just been really liking this. I feel like since I started playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, I've just been really getting into gaming again. I did play Kingdom Hearts 3 when that came out, but before then, like, I wasn't really like playing video games. I would play them occasionally, but like soft kind of like non-thinking games like Stardew Valley and like Animal Crossing and stuff like that. It was all really just like walk around and like buy stuff and like sell stuff kind of games. But yeah, since Fire Emblem Three Houses came out, I've just been so like back into gaming. So if you have any gaming recommendations for me, any other like JRPGs that are similar to Fire Emblem, please leave them down in the comments, anything at all. I would be very interested to know what's out there. I think I want to start getting more into not Fire Emblem, I'm already into that, Final Fantasy, because when I was younger I did play Final Fantasy X2, but I wasn't super into like turn-based combat at the time. I was just, you know, my brain was still cooking, so I didn't really appreciate stuff like that. But now that I'm a little bit older and I've played Fire Emblem and I know kind of that kind of strategy game, I think I'd be more interested in Final Fantasy now. So I'm probably gonna check that out. Plus they're coming out with all the remakes, and I know they're coming out with a Final Fantasy VII remake, and I love Cloud Strife. Sweet baby boy. Anyway, so if you have anything like that, please leave it down below so I can check it out. So that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for sitting here and watching me ramble about nothing for 10 minutes. If you like this video, go ahead and like it, and I will see you in my next one. Thank you!